Juzi nilisikia kama Ruto alikuwa pande hii anasema tu mimi najua baba hatasimama, sasa mimi nitakuwa na saa Kalonzo tu. Anaongea juu ya Kalonzo kama Kalonzo ni kama yeye. Kalonzo ameshinda bwana Ruto mara 10. Yeye ni mtu mwaminifu. Yeye ni mtu mwaminifu. Anataka kutagawanya sisi. Baba na Kalonzo, sijui baba hatasimama, sijui nani atasimama. Miongoni wetu hapa mtu atasimama. Sawa? Yeye anafikiria ni mwerevu zaidi. Tutamwonyesha ati yeye hajui.
Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Yesterday, Uhuru Kenyatta resurfaced in the country after a few months of sabbatical leave politically. And he headed straight to Ukambani. He was hosted by Kalonzo in Mwingi, where they held a harambe to help one of the churches. And it seems the Kenya Kwanza team was closely following what was happening. Uhuru Kenyatta did not mince his words. He told them to stop using his name as a scapegoat. And he told them, clean your mess because I'm no longer in power. Number 2, Uhuru told them that he's not a political conman. He's not afraid to state that he's still in Azimio because he was taught political honesty by his political forefathers. And the mere fact that he appeared to be endorsing Kalonzo for 2027, a few months after Raila had also indicated that they would stand together with Kalonzo, the Kenya Kwanza team was rattled, and most of them did not sleep. They kept on tweeting to answer Uhuru Kenyatta. This is what Aaron Cheriot said on Twitter, that the minute Kimani Ichung'wah mentioned the State Capture Commission, I knew the Ichaweri man would be awakened from his stupor. I agree with Kenyans telling us to slow down on taxation and go hard on recovering what's stashed abroad first. That is Aaron Cheriot, the majority leader in the Senate. Kimani Ichung'wah, who is the majority leader in the National Assembly, said this: my brother and co-chair, Kalonzo Musyoka, I heard you inviting the former president back to active political discourse. I truly welcome that. It is time we had a candid discussion in public with Uhuru Kenyatta on the economy, the effects of state capture on the economy, and on the mess we are sorting in this country's economy. Then we shall know the truth. Please get him on stage. So those are tweets from the two majority leaders. But the person who nailed it, so that we can understand really the fear within the Kenya Kwanza team, was Johnson Mudhama. Johnson Mudhama took to stage and advised the Kenya Kwanza, the Azimio team. Just take a look.
2017, I stood firm to say it is Raila, which is true. The numbers with Raila up to today, even if Raila uploads the position of the leadership of Raila Amolo Odinga, the charisma, the personality, you know, the way he articulates issues to Kenyans. Nobody will pick it from Raila like this and walk with it. There's no way. 2027, if Azimio has to make an impact, not win, impact, Raila has to be the candidate. Anybody else, wewe leta hiyo ni mswaki, tutakuonyesha vile tutatafuna hiyo. Asubuhi tutakuwa tumemalizana naye.
That is Johnson Mudhama trying to advise the Azimio coalition. Let me ask you, do you think Johnson Mudhama should offer unsolicited advice to Azimio? Well, let me put it this way. Johnson Mudhama belongs to the Kenya Kwanza government. Do you think he's got the interest, any good intention to advise the Azimio? And he's telling them that they should avail Raila in 2027. I mean, what is your take on that clip where Mudhama is now, Mudhama is like telling Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, Uhuru Kenyatta, people like Martha Karua, Jeremiah Kioni, Eugene Wamalwa, Oparanya, that all their brains converging together to decide on who will be their flag bearer is null and void. So that it is Mudhama who can tell them who to give that mandate. And this is something that has been disturbing the Kenya Kwanza team for a very long time. They want to know exactly who Azimio wants to give the flag to contest. Is it Raila Odinga? Is it Kalonzo Musyoka? Is it Martha Karua? But Raila told them that they will avail someone for them. They should not be disturbed. But the reason why they want to know early enough is to start a propaganda. If it is Raila Odinga, they will develop a propaganda. If it is Kalonzo Musyoka, they will develop a propaganda. So they want to know early enough who is it that Azimio wants to avail as their flag bearer. Number two, this is about Kalonzo Musyoka. You see, when Raila Odinga came up and told Kenyans that he might, or Azimio might, rally behind Kalonzo Musyoka, the following day, Kanini Kega, who is the East African member of legislature, told the nation that the reason why the Kenya Kwanza team woke up in their numbers in 2022 was because Raila was in the ballot. They were not voting in Ruto. They were voting out Raila and his friend Uhuru Kenyatta, because Raila has always been presented to the Kenya Kwanza team as a scarecrow. You ask them, the Mount Kenya team, why they don't like Raila. They don't know. Some of them are pointing to the rivalry between Jomo Kenyatta and Jaramogi Oginga Odinga. And I even found it very trivial that some of them are still mentioning the case between SM Otieno and Wamboi. Those are the kind of things that they are telling you. They don't have a tangible reason why they fear Raila, but they just fear him. And so Kanini Kega was saying that in the absence of Raila in the ballot, it will be very difficult for Mount Kenya, especially now that they have realized that they were hoodwinked. And so the whole of the Kenya Kwanza team would not want to see Kalonzo in the ballot. The reason being, with Kalonzo, there is no propaganda. Because in 2007, they have claimed Raila Odinga wanted to disrupt Kibaki's government. But in 2007, that very year they are talking about, Kalonzo supported Kibaki and they formed a coalition government. Many people have argued that without Kalonzo, things would have gotten tougher for Kibaki, because Raila had really cornered Kibaki. So there will be never a proper propaganda against Kalonzo Musyoka. And this is what the Kenya Kwanza team does not want. They know very well that Kalonzo is sellable in Mount Kenya. The Meru community will vote for him. They even speak the same language. Those who don't want William Ruto but don't also want Raila Odinga will find a shadow where they can cast their ballot. So they are afraid, and that is why they want to spread this propaganda. I don't think that Mudhama has got the capacity to start advising the political pundits who are in Azimio. And I'm not saying that Azimio is perfect. They have made their mistakes here and there. But when it comes to presenting their favorite candidate, Mudhama has got no interest in it. In fact, they fear that if Kalonzo is presented, then it is a done deal. Uhuru Kenyatta has been invited by the Mount Kenya fraternity because they are crying. They regret why they ignored his pieces of advice. They regret why they ignored his warning. Now that he has come and he resurfaces, and the first place he heads to is Mwingi with Kalonzo Musyoka, it was like a coded message that here we are. I present to you Kalonzo Musyoka. And they know very well that with the support of Uhuru Kenyatta, Uhuru has been proven, because for the 10 years that he was in power, he has worked with these leaders, and he knows very well who has got the best interest of Mount Kenya and Kenyans as a whole. So this time round, if Uhuru will point to them Kalonzo Musyoka, I'm telling you that Uhuru might take 3/4 of Mount Kenya votes and give to Kalonzo Musyoka. With the support of Raila Amolo Odinga and all the other candidates, I'm telling you it is not going to be well with them. The last one, this is sibling rivalry. Mudhama knows very well that Kalonzo is the Ukambani kingpin, but he's trying to rival this. I know people have tried, people like Ngilu, people like Kivuda Kibwana, people like the Maendeleo Chap guy, but Kalonzo Musyoka has emerged as the real kingpin, undisputed. So Mudhama knows very well that if Kalonzo will rise to the level of a presidency, maybe he will be finished. If I were him, I would have come so that we work together. And he doesn't want Kalonzo to be the president. Just those civil rivalry where you just don't want your brother to ascend to power. And I know he has been given that mandate to sell this kind of confusion, because he's now trivializing that if Kalonzo will be given that mandate, then they will crush him in the morning. I'm telling you, it is the opposite. They are afraid that Kalonzo would win. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I think Azimio knows what is happening. Raila told them that we will show Kalonzo that we are clever, we are wiser than, we will show Ruto that we are wiser than what he thinks. I don't know what you think. What do you make of Mudhama's unsolicited advice? Kindly share with me on the comment section.